We're back.
We're back.
We are back with our second full edition of
No BS Talk.
Where There Will Be No BS.
Because we know BS.
Yeah, for sure. So moving forward, we're going to do something kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
We're throwing ideas in that you guys have given us, so thank you so much for that. We've gotten a lot of good ideas from the so far viewers. Yeah, thank you so much for that, and we love that. So please keep on sending the questions and topics. So we've put them in. I asked Brad to get a box so we can put all the ideas in a box, and we'll just draw them out one at a time, and we won't have a clue what we're going to talk about. We're just going to on the fly start talking about something, and so we're going to do that. And Brad, could you please grab the box?
Well, box isn't nearly cool enough.
Apparently not.
But a vintage motorcycle helmet with a very, very cool front on it is.
Yes. Do I get to draw?
You get to draw.
Ooh.
Here we go.
Exciting.
The anticipation
Drum
is
roll, please.
insane in this place right now.
I won't look.
Okay.
Trying not to show my armpit to the camera. They're like 8 together. There.
Okay. Oh.
What is it? What is it? What are we talking about?
We're talking about conviction.
Oh.
We throw words like conviction around all the time.
Do we?
Yes.
This one of we doesn't ever throw the word conviction around, but
well, it's just words like that.
Yes. You know? No, I get it. So so this one's Brad's. So I'm gonna let him lead where this theory came from. Did somebody bring it up for you, or is this one of yours?
No, this is one of mine.
Okay.
This is one of mine, and it's not. I don't really have a theory about it.
I already do. Do.
This is why you're here, Julie.
And that's the only reason I'm here?
I have questions, Julie has answers.
I do have a lot of answers up here. Anyway.
So I
feel very excited today.
I picked conviction because I said conviction in one of our other episodes. It's this, how do I put it? It's the intangible kind of, we throw words around. Conviction, grit, all of this kind of stuff. And the way I kind of look at it is, I was raised with sports, right? So those words are used all the time. And then you get into different parts of life and you start thinking about mental conviction, discipline, all of that kind of stuff. And it kind of raises questions in my mind. Is that actually what is necessary to have a successful mental situation? Or where does this all come from? Okay. So it's just, we're going to call conviction a springboard to a conversation about how should we say, trying to find yourself in a good place. Can you force yourself to get there? Because I've tried doing that, and it worked, and it didn't work.
I think the whole situation of forcing yourself to be in a good place is very ironic. Just saying. Well,
no, but I mean, it's like, I am going to cross that finish line.
Yes.
Right?
And that finish line is a good place?
And this is, well, generally speaking, right? This is where the conundrum is for me. Okay, so I'm going to talk about my yoga thing really quick, okay?
He's got a lot of words today. Conundrum, conviction.
I got big words.
I don't know if
I got all the ones that he left. Anyway. Okay. So my yoga thing, here's what happened. Okay, my whole life, I'm raised with the mentality of heavy-duty football, hockey. It's like we all get in the dressing room, we get all pumped up, and say, right? My whole life. So I ended up taking that whole mentality almost like into my music career. It's like getting all pumped up before you go on stage. And then one day, about 4 years ago, I went to yoga for the first time, right? I pulled my kneecap out of its socket. I tried wrapping my leg around my head, right? And I did this for a month because I had the conviction that I was gonna go and I was gonna get to the finish line of yoga. And one day I had a meltdown in the yoga class because I came to the realization that I can't use that attitude doing that type of activity.
Okay.
Right? And then to go further than that, it's like then you start questioning, what the hell is going on in my mind? I think that's a perfect segue for you to talk.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure that it is because I don't know what the heck is going on in his mind. That was a lot of information. And I absolutely, so to speak to the way that you used to be, let's go with used to be, maybe someday still are, that you force yourself to be in a good space.
Well, we will conquer this.
Yes.
I will conquer a thought just like I will conquer my body. I will conquer.
Yeah, no, and absolutely, I don't know whether I was raised that way. I had a slightly different upbringing. I wasn't told that I had to do things. I wasn't told that I couldn't do things. It was kind of like feel your way through life after a certain age. You know, up until about 10, I had somebody that was in my life that was very much about discipline, but after that it kind of like dissipated significantly. So yeah, I wasn't really pushed too much after that, but I pushed myself. So I call that parenting yourself. So what you're doing at that point, and whether your parents were like that or not.
Yeah, my parents were not.
Yeah.
It was more the general consensus of growing up as a kid in the 70s.
Your thought process of it anyways. See, that's the interesting thing as well, is we say all kinds of things about, well, it's how I was brought up and it's what I saw, but it's your perception of what you saw. And don't forget that. No matter what your parents said to you, no matter what your coach said to you, no matter what your friends said to you, it is your perception and your perception only. So our reality is actually very unique to us. And I think that's where people have a little bit of a disconnect. So you took whatever information you were given and thought, I need to like be hardcore. And the person beside you didn't take that information. That's not what they received because of their personality traits and the way they'd been raised thus far.
Can I ask you something?
Absolutely, please do.
You've mentioned to me in conversation before, something to the effect of most of our conceptions about the way we see the world are created by the time we're 10?
It's not about our conceptions, it's about our belief systems, but yes, I guess our conceptions. But most of it is created by the time we're 8. A significant portion is created by the time we're 8. So, and by the time we're 18, 95% of our belief systems are in place. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't change them. People can change, believe it or not, but you have to want to. You have to be aware that there's a reason to, right? And I think that's the biggest issue, is most people, they're in their own mind and they're wandering around the earth believing what's in their head is in that person's head. So when that person reacts a certain way, you bring it back to yours and you go, well, if I did that, I'd mean so on and so forth.
Yeah, I've learned my lessons in that. I've learned my lessons in that.
Right. Well,
it's
do we want to talk about age though? Like, Brad's like, well, I learned my lesson. Yes, well, we may or may not have a couple 20-somethings watching this that are like, yeah.
Blank stare.
We're not 20-something.
Speak for yourself, lady.
Yes. Brad, I was going to say up there, Brad, it's still 20-something for sure. Not sure that you've reached that.
So that's kind of, I'm not really sure what I'm coming at, like, with that whole topic, but there's something in there about just the way I was raised and the things that I've learned, and the fact that, maybe what I thought was right is probably wrong.
And it's not about right or wrong. So there's just different ways of seeing the world. There's different perspectives. And as long as the perspective actually truly works for you, then it's not wrong. But it doesn't truly work for you, or you wouldn't have broken yourself in yoga. Like, if it worked for you, then you would feel,
kept doing it.
Yeah, well, and you'd feel powerful and strong about these things and successful. But you felt like you were being beaten up by yourself.
Well, I think what it is it's a different type of, I don't know what the word is, motivation? Like,
yes, well, it's perceived as motivation. It's not a different type of motivation. It's quite often,
it's a different approach. Some things require a different approach.
Yes.
And if you keep, I guess if you keep applying the same approach and it doesn't work to everything, right? Because that's me. It's like, and this is another great topic we'll maybe stumble on one day, is you make a rule and you put it in a box, and then I make the rule, and it's like anytime I do sort of any sort of thing like that.
Stay tuned, because I love Brad's rules.
Right. It's okay. I filed that rule. This is the way it is. Now go.
Yes. That's happened back here, so this rule needs to be in place forever with every situation that's anywhere similar. And he's not alone. many people are like that, and I'm not saying that I've never done that myself. It's kind of a human nature thing that we're supposed to learn from things that happen, but we're not supposed to remember exactly what it was and color our future with our past, right? That's the problem. So back to the BS portion of this. Yes, it's BS. Is BS. It is BS that you have to, the whole grit thing and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so if you're, because I hate bringing up things about me, but I used to power lift. If I walked up to a deadlift and went, gee, I hope this goes well, what? But if I walked up there and went, I'm going to destroy this, then I destroyed it. You need grit. You need that kind of attitude then, but you don't need it in yoga, and you don't need it in a relationship. That's for sure.
Full contact.
Full contact. Full contact relationships are good. I'm not saying that's not full contact yoga. Maybe not ideal.
I think we're done.
I think we're done for today. Brad, thank you so much for that topic. Hopefully you guys got something out of that. We didn't meander too far and all over the place. I had fun. Did you have fun, Brad?
I'm still confused.
The surprise. So I'm Julie Turner. I don't think we even introduced ourselves. So
no, we didn't.
Let's go with that. And if you want to get a hold of me, it's JulieTurner.ca.
You can find me at broadlevel.com.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for your time today, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, Julie.
Thanks, Brad.